A lot of turmoil has been going on in R. Kelly's case between his attorneys. And I wanted to talk about it last week, but I decided to kind of wait and see how things unfolded a little bit so that I can give you my full opinion and breakdown of the situation. As y'all know by now, Greenberg and Leonard filed a motion to withdraw as R. Kelly's attorneys uh, on last week. And it was out the blue. And the reason they gave for trying to withdraw is that they believe that Thomas Farinella and Nicole Blank Becker, who are R. Kelly's other attorneys, they believe that they're not capable of handling a case of this magnitude. And they said that R. Kelly was trying to give Nicole and Thomas a more prominent role in the trial. They wanted, Greenberg and Leonard wanted Thomas and Nicole to have minor roles and stay in the background. They say they don't have enough experience. So then the judge called an emergency status hearing. And at that status hearing, she asked R. Kelly, hey, do you wish to have Greenberg and Leonard removed as attorneys? And he said yes. And then, then Greenberg said that there were some issues, conflicts of interest that the other attorneys had, and that he had to speak up, and that they adequately, they meaning Thomas and Nicole, could not adequately defend R. Kelly. So then the judge said, okay, put it under seal, because this is a public forum, because everybody was listening on the conversation. Put anything you have to say in a motion under seal. So they did that. They put a motion out, and we don't know what's in the motion because it's under seal. And then a couple days later, the judge decided to have a Curcio hearing. She said she's going to call a Curcio hearing, which is a hearing to determine if attorneys are fit to defend a client, and to make sure that the defendant, who is R. Kelly, understands everything that's going on. So today was that Curcio hearing. And Judge Ann Donnelly questioned Nicole about the conflicts of interest that apparently Greenberg raised. And the conflicts of interest were that Nicole had previously spoken to the public on the behalf of Azriel Clary and Joycelyn Savage. And the judge is trying to see if that's a conflict of interest, because, okay, Azriel is now testifying against R. Kelly. But I don't see it again as a conflict of interest, because at the time, Azriel was still publicly claiming to support and love R. Kelly and rocking with him. So it makes sense that his lawyer would have a friendly relationship with her, or at least speak to her about certain issues, because there was a lot going on. So Nicole speaking up for them and making statements and talking to them while they were with R. Kelly was not a violation, in my opinion, and I don't think she will be removed from the case. I want to know why Greenberg and everybody else is really trying hard to get all of R. Kelly's lawyers off the case. You know what I mean? I feel like there is a move to make sure that R. Kelly doesn't have any representation at trial. They want him to not have any representation. That's what I think the goal is. They're pulling out all the stops at the last minute to make him have inadequate, ineffective counsel, so that he can possibly lose in New York and spend the rest of his life behind bars. But I don't think it's going to work. R. Kelly is not going to get rid of Nicole. I hope the judge doesn't bar Nicole from cross-examining Azriel, because she previously spoke to Azriel while, she was dating R. Kelly. So I just hope, because Thomas Farinella is not a good speaker. I don't want Thomas Farinella having a speaking role at trial, period. He cannot speak. He's not a good speaker. That's no shade to him. He stutters when he gets nervous. He has an anxiety disorder that makes it nerve-wracking for him to speak in front of strangers. So the jury is going to be full of strangers. So if he gets up there stuttering, they could get pissed off and say, you know what, I'm not listening to none of this man talking about. I'm going to go on and convict R. Kelly. It's a lot of things that, while I don't like Greenberg's tactics, that Thomas Farinella, he's not a good speaker. He can be in the case. I just don't want him speaking or cross-examining. So Judge Ann Donnelly today didn't make a determination on whether or not Greenberg is going to be removed or whether or not Nicole is going to be barred from cross-examining Azriel or what have you. What she did was say she's going to appoint an attorney from New York to advise R. Kelly on how to move forward. And that attorney's name is Alana Maramati, I forget her name. But she is appointed to advise R. Kelly. She's not going to be counsel. She's just going to advise him about everything that's going on and how to proceed. And Judge Ann Donnelly wants that to be done in person. So they're going to start the process of moving R. Kelly to New York in the coming weeks. In my mind, that means that they're not going to postpone the trial. I don't think they're going to postpone this trial. And I don't know if we're ready for trial. Based on all the conflicts, I don't think we're ready. And I think if the judge was fair, she would say, okay, you know what, Mr. Kelly, I'm going to give you a 6-month reprieve. And then we're going to come back and we're going to have the trial in 6 months. Because I want to make sure you have adequate representation. I want to make sure any new attorneys you bring on are caught up to speed and they're able to adequately represent you to the best of their ability. If she was a genuine judge and not biased against R. Kelly, she would do that. But this whole time she's been biased against R. Kelly, so I really don't know what she is going for. She and this new attorney, this woman that has been appointed to advise R. Kelly, I want to know where she came from. I don't trust her. Since the judge appointed her and picked her out of the clear blue sky, she could be a federal agent disguised as a lawyer trying to get information from R. Kelly. These people use all kinds of crazy tactics. I do not trust these people. The whole situation is crazy. But God got it under control. And then there was an article that came out today from the New York Daily News saying that Joycelyn and Azriel had the same lawyer and all that nonsense. And I don't believe that's true. But for a second I was thinking, oh my God, did she flip? But they were just, I don't know. I don't know if Joycelyn is going to flip. I don't know. But anything is possible. This case has so many twists and turns. But the New York Daily News was referring to Joycelyn and saying that Joycelyn is now saying that R. Kelly victimized her. But they kept talking about, I think they were referring to that Patreon account. And she has come out and publicly denied over a year ago that she was never involved in that Patreon account. So I don't know why they keep bringing that up and putting out fake news. But it just goes to show how the media lies and how the media would do anything to make R. Kelly look bad. There is an all-out crucifixion for him. This is an all-out crucifixion for him, and all we can do is continue to pray. All we can do is continue to donate money through Western Union. so that he can get that money directly. Whatever you can, $10, $15, $20. Doesn't have to be much. You could donate once a month. Anything to help out. I don't know when they're going to move him to New York. But the judge wants to see him in person. The judge wants to question R. Kelly in person about his attorneys. So she doesn't want to do it by video. And she was like, it's time to get R. Kelly here. That's what they say. She said, it's time to get R. Kelly in New York. Why are they in such a hurry to get him in that New York jail? I don't want R. Kelly in New York. I want him to stay in Chicago as long as possible. I don't want him going to that nasty New York jail. Why are they in such a hurry to push him there? Why are they in such a hurry to push this trial along when it's clearly that he doesn't have everything he needs to have a fair shot? This isn't fair, y'all. None of this is fair. R. Kelly is really going up against the entire federal government. And they want to destroy him by any means necessary, no matter if they trample on his rights to do so. But R. Kelly's from the streets of Chicago. He's a tough guy. He's built for this shit. And as long as we continue to pray for him and continue to show support and be genuine, I think he would be successful. But I hope some new attorneys are coming on board. From what I'm hearing, is some attorneys that are willing to come on board, and they won their last 4 RICO cases, but they're not going to come on board unless the judge grants a delay in the trial, because they don't want to come on board and not be prepared. So they're willing to come on board. From what I'm hearing from a source close to the situation, they're willing to come on board, and Nicole wants them on board, and so does Thomas. But unless they can get this case pushed back, the lawyers said they can't come on board. God bless R. Kelly. God bless R. Kelly. God bless R. Kelly. It's like everybody stabbed him in the back. And then you had that lawyer, Noel Brodsky, I think his name is, who came out here speaking against Greenberg and saying that Greenberg is trying to undermine R. Kelly's case because he was fired. And just like he tried to undermine Drew Peterson. Drew Peterson was the man that was accused of killing his wife. And remember, he was accused of killing 3 wives, but they only convicted him on 1 wife. He only went to trial for 1 wife. I think all of his wives ended up dead. And Drew Peterson said that Greenberg didn't file certain motions, and he had ineffective counsel. And Noel Brodsky, the attorney, said that when he went through R. Kelly's docket, he was surprised that Greenberg and nobody filed a motion to suppress, motion to suppress certain evidence, motion to do a motion in limine or whatever that is. I forget how you pronounce it. He was surprised. He says a lot of stuff that hasn't been done, and R. Kelly's been in jail for 2 years, and it should be at least 500 things in the docket, but it's only 100 things in the docket. And in a case this high profile, you want to make sure that you do a good job for the client. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. An innocent man is being crucified. An innocent man is being crucified. And there's nothing really we can do. The only thing I could do is donate to his commissary on Western Union and sit back and pray and advocate for him online. Because there's nothing else I can control. I wish I could, raise $1 million to get some attorneys to come on board. But again, new attorneys are not going to come on board this late in the game unless it's a public defender. And, public defenders they're not really going to do a good job of trying to get him off, because they might feel like, well, I'm not really getting paid, so I'm not going to do a good job. You know what I mean? God bless R. Kelly. God bless him. God bless him. Surrounded by snakes for so many years. For so many years, surrounded by snakes. I want all the bickering between R. Kelly fans and all these YouTube bloggers to stop. Now is the time to really focus on R. Kelly and focus on seeing how we can help from this end, which is not a lot. It's not a lot we can do, but we can stop bickering and going back and forth with each other. Well, not me, because I don't get involved in it. I never got involved in any of the beefs. I don't pay attention to it. I don't know nothing what's going on. The only thing I want is R. Kelly acquitted on all counts, and for him to walk free out of that nasty stink jail. And I also want all of these accusers to guess what's coming soon. They took this man through hell. They took this man through hell. I've never seen anybody be treated like this. They want to make it so he's broke and he has nothing. They made sure they undermined him with his finances, with the Mute R. Kelly campaign, so he doesn't have the millions of dollars he could have had to get the proper defense from the start. Because a lot of this shit should have been thrown out. That child pornography should have been thrown out months ago. You know why? Because the tapes are too old. None of the chicks who claim they were on those tapes look the same. These tapes are from 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. So if you don't look the same, how can you come up and say, hey, this me, it's child pornography, when you're a full-grown woman? That right there is enough to get them so-called child pornography tapes thrown out. And how is it child pornography if you didn't prove that it was a child in the video to begin with? Y'all need to stop calling teenage young women who are of consenting age children. It was never proven minors were in the tape. It was never proven R. Kelly was in the tape. Legally proven. It doesn't matter if you think the person looked like R. Kelly. It doesn't matter if you think the girl look underage. Anybody can look underage. Anybody can look younger than what they are. Anybody can look younger or older than what they are. We all know black don't crack. So black women age at a slower rate. Y'all, I'm really upset. I'm really, really upset. I just want R. Kelly free. I want him free. They did him so wrong. They really did him fucking wrong. This wind is making my phone shake. It's not my hand shaking. It's this wind blowing. So don't think I'm glad the wind is blowing. But anyway, I wonder what this attorney who Judge Donnelly appointed is going to say to R. Kelly. Is she going to try to get him to take a plea? Why did Judge Donnelly just pull out the blue sky? I don't trust him. I saw her picture. I said, this is a federal agent. This ain't no attorney. It's a lot of tricks being pulled, y'all. It's a lot of tricks being pulled. I'm tired of R. Kelly being crucified. I'm tired of him being made to look like a monster when he's not. Every one of these chicks sat up there and chased him. Every one of these chicks sat up there and wanted to be with him. Every one of these chicks spread their legs willingly. And you know my rule, if you spread your legs willingly, if it was no gun involved, then it was consensual. If you didn't tell the man no, and if you were all up in the man's face and y'all had sex, I don't care what age you are, younger or older, it's consensual and you can't come back and be the victim. They really fucked him up. R. Kelly in jail for 2 years. R. Kelly in jail for 2 years for stuff he did not do. He's not a kidnapper. He's not a hostage taker. He didn't force none of these hoes to do a goddamn thing. Oh, people are evil. People are evil. But anyway, free R. Kelly, free R. Kelly, free R. Kelly, and fuck anybody who don't like him.